So it was possibly, I'm just looking at these joints here. See, someone's mortise and tenon these. It's rather nice, and they've used 2 screws, which is in the same manner when they made chassised vehicles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You just used 2, and they were always flexible.
Yeah.
So that the car itself had flexibility in the framework.
Yeah.
This is rather nice, isn't it? What, how beautifully laid out as well. Oh, and you've got local scenes, some photographs.
Oh well, one of them's Niagara Falls. Yeah.
Is that local to here?
Niagara Falls?
No, I'm joking.
But,
oh, isn't that beautiful?
When I bought that picture, I think was in the house.
Yeah.
When I bought it. No, it was in the garage. But there used to be this curious. I knew that I'd been in the house before I bought it because I knew the guy I got it off.
Yes.
And it used to. He's about my age. His parents had it, but his parents had inherited it from a relative. And on the wall upstairs, there was one of those certificates that you got if you had a relative that was killed in the First World War.
Yes.
But he'd been in the Royal Canadian Forestry Corps or something like that.
Tree fell on him.
And I was just curious that why did they have it was curious that they're Welsh. They had a certificate for somebody from the Royal Canadian Forestry Corps, and there's a picture of Niagara Falls in here.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting.
That's an interesting thing to.
Now you might be able to find the details of that in the London Gazette.
Yeah, but I almost need to know the bloke's name, don't I? And I just don't.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So that would be on the Century. I'm absolutely fascinated with tin buildings and the simplicity of the design structure and the tin cladding. It is really so remarkable when they introduced tin.
Yeah, it's just it's a game changer for cheap buildings, isn't it?
Yeah, and the size of them as well.
Yeah.
There's some on Salisbury Plain, only a few, which was called, it was New Zealanders, so I forget the colloquial for Kiwi Camp, that's it.
Right.
And there's still some buildings there, and I film those. And I'm fascinated with it. And I must say, this is a perfect workshop. These are becoming more and more scarce.
Oh, yeah.
And the gentlemen who occupy them.
Well, I mean, their windows must be old, mustn't they?
Yeah.
Probably recycled from somewhere else.
Yeah, in the wonderful tradition of sort of home workshops.
We've got 2 more.
No, have you?
Yeah. Got the key.
Oh, wow, this is absolutely... Oh, and you have... Is that a Black & Decker?
Yeah.
That must be one of the early ones.
No, I think this is earlier, I think.
Do you think so?
Even though it's in better condition.
I've
It's
got...
been like my father-in-law.
Wow.
And it's really heavy.
I've got one
and
of
he
those.
always looked after. He really looked after things.
That's the Workmate too, yes.
Yeah.
I've got one. I think the sides to them are... No, it's the same as this, but slightly different.
Yeah.
And I'm quite fascinated with it. Yes, they are heavy, and I'm very careful not to cut the top if I'm using it with a circular saw. Yeah, again, that was a game changer on these, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, when we were clearing father-in-law's house out, we said, my wife said, haven't you already got one? You can't have too many.
You can't. You need at least 2.
Yeah.
And preferably 3.
Yeah.
And with slightly greater space on the left. So possibly they reverse the car in rather than driving forward. Oh yes, and the little collection of decorating material.
Well, I'm cleaning that a bit of spring clean morning, sticking that.
Yeah, isn't that
nice
lovely?
Door furniture and stuff there.
Yeah.
That old drawer pull and what have you.
Yes, isn't it? It's yes, they're wonderful, the draw pulls, so practical. Earlier, and that was more alpine shaped roof. I'm looking to incorporate it into sort of into a project that I'm doing. but for the insulation accommodation of it,
Yeah.
I would need to put, in effect, a lowered ceiling in, so
Yeah.
there was more space
Yeah,
above that lowered
yeah, yeah.
ceiling before it reached the roof
Right,
space, if you see
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
One earlier in the week, which was a similar design. It had a steeper pitch roof though, but it's quite garagey.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one I saw earlier had a slightly more inclined roof space, and you had a small hatch there. And there's one that I know of, which is taller and narrower, where in the Second World War a refugee family lived in.
Oh, really?
So they...
Then I started doing houses and fiddling around.
Did you? Oh, well done.
And,
Yeah, well, it's all handy stuff that you can use
yeah,
again,
exactly.
isn't it? Oh,
Exactly.
you've got some mahogany on that panel there, I think.
Yeah, they were all, it's all bed frame and
Yeah, isn't
too
that
good
lovely?
too good to get rid of.
Well, they were made to last a lifetime,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
It's odd with furniture. It was built of a quality where it was designed that once you had it, it was rather like not an endowment, but a betrothal.
Yes.
The family would then give you the furniture that would last a lifetime. And something interesting were always trunks where
Oh yeah, yeah.
before chests of drawers.
Yes.
Oh, you've got a railway lamp. Those hurricane lamps are totally fascinating because they burn their own. The fumes from above are drawn.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's a really interesting sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That only us would perhaps be interested.
Out and
Oh,
look
no.
at these, and I just said, "Oh, you can't,
No.
you can't
It's
get rid of that. That's my childhood. There, you're just this. I'm getting rid of it. So you're not getting rid of it. It's, oh well, here you go. Then. Take it." And I think, yeah, all right then.
I can always remember utility vans, and the workers on board would have one of these,
Yeah.
and they would have it for their fry-ups and their
Yeah.
cups of coffee. What a wonderful, robust piece of
It is.
engineering, as opposed to the pressed steel example I've got now.
Yeah, yeah,
And you can run it off any size cylinder.
yeah, yeah. No, I
Oh,
was.
wonderful.
I said, you can't chuck that out.
No, all those memories attached to it. First time we used one was to cook mackerel that I'd caught
Oh yeah.
in it was a holiday in Torquay.
Yeah.
Went out mackerel fishing
Right. Oh great.
and we cooked it.
was
I don't think I ate it at that time. I was a piece of engineering. Look at that, all cut out, welded in place. That door isn't ever going to drop, is it?
No, but it had dropped. I had them made myself.
Wow.
I thought, oh, let me sort this out.
Yeah. You're right. That's lovely. Because there's so much. I was looking at the chair up early. There's a bar and hot riveted metalwork.